Today, October 11th, and we are going to be in the book of Matthew, picking it up in chapter 15, starting in verse 21, and the faith of a Canaanite woman. Now, there's a couple of these kind of stories where Jesus interacts with those considered unclean by the Jews, right, and how their faith stands out. And so she's going back and forth. Jesus is like, I'm only sent to the lost sheep of Israel. She said, yeah, it's not right that children's bread and throw it to the dogs, but even the dogs eat the crumbs. Like, she's just desperate. Like, she believes that he can. Great is your faith. Be it done for you as your desire. And her daughter was healed instantly. We had this conversation not too long ago in our men's study about healing and whether it's still for today and whether those gifts are still available to us and for us. And I think throughout the Bible it's clear we're to continue to pray, pray for the sick and ask God to heal. And then whether God heals or not, that's up to God, And if we get caught up in the signs, right? Because that's where this is going. As you go down through 15 into 16, the Pharisees and Sadducees demand signs, and they're all there. They're just not acknowledging it. And so we're not looking for validation. We're not looking for, if God's really God, he will do this kind of thing. But this kind of faith is persistent. It's insistent. I mean, like, she just continued in it. Like, she wasn't going to stop. She believed that Jesus can. Now, I'm not saying we don't believe he can in that way, but when something so affects us that we just call upon him desperate, that's a good place to be. But here's the thing, that's not the only time to call upon God. A big or a small sickness to God is the same. He can heal one and the same. And so at all times, just say, bring our requests before God. Make known that we know he can heal and we're trusting him no matter what. And there'll be times I think he will heal. Many times that it will not happen. Sometimes he'll use doctors and medical staff and modern medicine and all those things. That's still God healing, and he's given knowledge and understanding. And so in all these things we want to give God glory, and we want to not make it a litmus test. And this is where some people get really thrown off. If God doesn't heal someone that they love and allowed them to die, as if we all are not going to die at some point, but they died too early or something like that is often said. And so they get mad at God, and it demonstrates that our faith wasn't that God is over all things, that Jesus is sovereign and he's the king and he gets to decide and he's in control. It means we want him to do what we want, and if he doesn't do what we want, we're going to be very unhappy, right? And I think there's a place for kind of working out those emotions and just wrestling with the fact that sometimes things don't go how we desire, many times. But we have to lay those down at his feet and say, I still believe, I still trust. And I understand that this world's broken, and I understand that it's not fair, and I understand that not all sicknesses will be healed in this life. But I'm going to always keep coming back to praying. Always going to say, Jesus, please heal. Please touch. Please restore. And no matter what, I want to keep trusting. Because he's good. And he's trustworthy. Till next time, keep growing little by little.